My name is Mark Monlux, and this is your Friday night movie recommendation. Now, we're going to go back to the year 2021. So, the movie for Best Oscar that year was Nomadland. Let's see, new TV shows were Loki, Hacks, and Murders in the Building. I'm still watching the Murder in the Building series. Enjoyed the run of Loki, absolutely great there. Other things, we had the Olympics in Japan. That finally happened. Um, we also had the top 100 single was Levitating by Dua Lipa. Now, you can tell that this is not AI generated because of the fact that I mispronounce everybody's names. So, got that going for me. Um, Also, Juneteenth became a federal holiday. Now, some of you may not know what June 15th is celebrating. It is celebrating the fact that slavery ended in America. So that's why we have that holiday. I think it's a great holiday. Yay! Anti slavery. Kudos. Um, let's see. So the movie I want to discuss from 2021 is one that I was looking forward to for over 30 years, and that would be Phil Tippett's Mad God. It's a stop motion animation. Phil Tippett, by the way, a legend in the industry when it comes to stop motion. First, there was Ray Harryhausen, and then there came Phil Tippett. And I first saw his work on the original Star Wars. It was that chess scene was some of his stuff. And he continued to do more Star Wars stuff. He made great breakthroughs when it came to stop frame animation. And he would eventually work with Industrial Light and Magic on doing the whole bit with Jurassic Park and actually training that team to do CGI better. But back to this pet project. I first learned about this project back in the I think I was reading a Starlog magazine back in the 80s, and it said Phil Tippett is working on his own pet project. I went, wow, I can hardly wait to see that because I love stop frame animation. And then another decade goes by, and I read another article, work ongoing on Phil Tippett's pet project. Now, Phil was working on this thing. I don't know if his garage or his basement or where in his studio was, but it was at his house, at home, wherever. And he would have students come over and work on in the evening. He'd have friends come over. He'd have anybody who can help him because this was intense. It's a lot of work for one person to do. But he kept at it day after day after day. It's not too surprising to know that he had to take a rest more than once at a sanitarium just to take a breath and cool off. And eventually, though he wanted to work on it more, this thing did have to come to an end. I don't know how to describe this film. It's sort of like a Dante's Inferno, but with a surreal, ugly twist to it. There's no words. Now, I'm an old gore hound. I love gore. I love horror. I like the gristle and the goo and anything that suddenly spurts out really weird. This is elbow deep gristliness. I'll edit out that later. And it's 86 very intense minutes. And not for the weak-hearted. But I was so happy to hear that this was released that I went to our local theater that I do movie posters for, the Grand Cinemas here in Tacoma, and I the guy who was running, scheduling posters, pardon me, movies. I said, "Oh, you got to get us Mad God," and he never heard of it. I was shocked. I said, "What? You haven't heard about this?" And he says, "Well, I'll tell you what. I'll post something on it on social media. If I get a hundred likes, we'll do a showing." Well, within 24 hours, he got well over 100 likes, and so he was going to do a single evening showing, and then that showing sold out, so he had to open up a second theater to it, and so the next day they sold out again, and at that point he realized he had something, and he says, "Okay, I'm going to run it for a week," and it was it was a terrific film for the theater, and I got to do the movie poster for it, and this is my take on that movie poster. You notice how I'm putting the glare right where the glare goes on the movie poster. Anyway, you can get this movie poster at my online store. I have a deep love for this film. I really want you to enjoy it. But again, it's a deep dive and not for the faint of heart. More than just a little grisly. But yeah, do check out Phil Tippett's Mad God. Oh, and if you like this movie recommendation, I've got others. You can check out my YouTube channel and feel free to follow me on TikTok. There'll be a link on YouTube to the trailer in the doobly-doo down below, and also a link to my online store where you can pick up the print. Let me know what movies you think I should recommend in the future, because next week, well, I'm going to have to go back in the time machine. And I think I'm going to pick something from 1932. I'm going to try to find something from 1932, because this is from 2021, so I'm going back, see what I can find, and 'cause you guys need to see some old stuff as well, and then we'll move forward again by decades. See you next week.